deployment. So let me conclude the 5 minute with a bit of a policy recommendations here to the Hill staffers, to the executive branch, to the FCC, and so on. And again, I can go on and on, but let me just restrain myself to 4 bullet points here. Number 1 recommendation, release more premium band spectrum, such as CBRS. Release that to the public telco companies, but also release that for private network deployment opportunities. Second is experiment with shared infrastructure. One challenge is that in New York City, you've got multiple public providers competing against each other, all with their own dedicated hardware infrastructure. But in the rural community, perhaps it's best to just think about having at least one, that's better than having none, infrastructure. And then the business competition can be carried out through the shared infrastructure. In other words, you don't have to dig 3 times. You can still have 3 providers sharing and competing that hardware infrastructure. A third recommendation is to encourage competition among the technology alternatives. The government is not particularly good at staying ahead of the tech curve, and it's not supposed to be picking winners and losers. However, by encouraging competition among those 3 and other alternatives, then you let the marketplace take care of the rest of the steps. Fourth and lastly, as we all have seen over years and decades past, that is not for a lack of interest and need that we do not have the universal broadband coverage engineered today. It's because of the equation of economics. That is, the population density in many of these rural communities does not support a profitable market deployment. And there's only that much tax dollars that can be used to subsidize the deployment. Technology innovation can tip the balance of economic equation to some degree, but not completely reverse the need of such subsidy. The best way on the economic front is to extract value from a diverse set of applications. For example, when we talk about rural broadband, there are 2 kinds. One is providing e-learning and providing Netflix streaming to your home. The other is digital agriculture, using digitization to enhance the efficacy of agricultural industry. And that application does drive additional revenue and profit to the farmers. And that is the kind of applications whereby public or private network providers can look forward to and say, then as a provider, to enable such new revenue, I would like to have a slice of that revenue, and that will justify my investment to enable you to do that. So identifying killer applications in digital agriculture, with IoT in particular, with intermittent needs and low bandwidth needs sometimes, in addition to the typical notion of broadband access, may give us a pathway forward to extract value, which is the ultimate guarantee of a sustainable economic model. With that, I turn the mic back to Roberto.